Earlier this week I made a video about how I invest in loads of special cards being used for free evos. Well, there's another free evo, so let's go through the investment. So just before the video does start, a quick little ad on a trading service I offer over on Twitch for the cheapest trading guides out there for just £4, €4, all free with Amazon Prime. You'll receive daily trading and investing guides covering PlayStation, Xbox and PC with an array of methods covering all budgets. And I've been trading for over 10 years, making over 100 million in multiple different FIFAs, and now for the last 4 years I've made 10 million coins in just the first month. So earlier in the week we released a video talking about how I basically have gone and invested all my coins into special cards being used for the free evos. And the idea is because the evo is free, everyone is eventually going to complete it, and because they're eventually going to go and complete it, it means that the special cards that are used in it go up and up and up. The reason the special cards go up and up and up is because there's no increase in supply, yet there's consistently a decrease in supply as people put them in the SBCs. So what we're going to do in today's video is we're going to talk about the players who are good investments for this, because the players for the first one were, well, a little bit of a mixed bag, but on the whole pretty good investments. Is that the second evo is arguably more desirable, plus it's out for longer. And because it's more desirable plus it's out for longer, in my opinion, the investments for this second free evo are way better than the ones for the first free evo. Because the first free evo, we only have 4 days until the players only used for that aren't useful. Whereas the second one is out for 20 days. I have no idea why the first one, sorry, can we find the second free one? Whereas the second one is out for 20 days. I have no idea why they did this. I'm not quite sure why the first one was only 6 and the second was 3 times as much, but hey to the ho. Well, it just means that the players used for the second evo are way better. Even with that said, there's still been some players who are only useful for the first evo who've, still performed very well and they're following the trends. For example, Gaia, again, only useful for the first evo. He's still gone from, I guess, post evo, we got 20k up to 24k and rising every day. But some of the defenders have, they're down maybe like 5-10%. But it doesn't matter because enough of the players I bought for the first evo can actually be used in the second evo and they've banged in price. For example, all the Gallaghers I bought at 22, I've been selling loads on at 29. Other players like Henderson, for example, I was buying at 18. He's up to like 26k. So some players I got a little bit cucked because of the second evo. Some players have done even better because of the second evo. Well, again, if you're not quite sure about the logic is, again, the players are out of packs for a while, but because the second evo is out for 20 days, they'll perform a lot better than the players who are only packs for 7 days. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through some investments you guys can still make, even though it's like 48 hours after the evos come out, for this evo, and again they'll continue rising for the next 19 days. So the criteria for the players that we want to buy is basically there to still be room at the end of the price range, because otherwise we'll wait for a price range update, and the player to be inflated. Now I know some people are like, oh, I don't want to buy stuff that's inflated because, I could have got them cheaper, but there's actually a benefit of buying stuff inflated, and that's that there's already demonstrated to be demand. If something wasn't slightly inflated, how do we know if people are actually using it? Because there's a fair few players that in theory could be being used, but they're not being used, and because they're not being used and they're not inflated, we're not going to go and buy them. So let's go through some investments. We'll start with some nice cheap investments. The first one of them is going to be Eafc. Eafc, how can we see that he's demanded? Well, anything that's up from 6 PM on the Saturday, we can see is up in demand. So Eafc before the evo was a solid 13k. Then the evo came and he went from 13k to 14k. He then went 14k to 15k, and now he's sitting at 15k. He's got 30k price range. He can continue rising. There you go. There is our first investment. There's not really too much to say that. Basically, if someone's already up in price and they've got a decent enough price range, they're a good buy. So there is a nice cheap investment for you guys. So the second player we're going to be going through is again a lovely cheap player, and that is the likes of Haji. Now Haji, we can see before the evo was sitting consistently at 12k, not moving off of that. We can see again on the Saturday he went from 12k to 14k and then 14k to 15k. So again, you can go and pick him up right now for 15k and then go and hold on to him and then flip for 30. Regarding selling these cards, honestly, again, they'll just keep rising and rising for 20 days because there's no increase in supply, and again, the evo should be consistently demanded by new players or people who've not got around to doing this evo yet, because there's so many evos released. So a nice little cheap investment there. We're now going to move to some mid-range investments, and the interesting thing is all the mid-range investments are basically expensive, rare informs. And the idea is because these informs haven't been packed, have been put into other evos and put into SBC so much, there's basically no supply, which means if you can get these on like a slightly lowish fluctuation, again, they'll basically rise to the max price. So the first player we're going to cover is going to be Trincao. Now this guy is fluctuating all over the shop. We can see right here he went up there to 52k, down there to 45k. So the idea on this guy is we'd go and buy him at 45k and then wait for him to sell at 55k. I can show you right here at the sales data that he's consistently fluctuating. I mean, like 2 hours ago he sold at 45k, 40k, 47k, 45k. But can we see fluctuations of sales at over 50? No, is he still? There you go. You can see a sale there at 50. There you go. A sale there at 52, 52. So yesterday evening he was selling at 52, back down to 45 right now. So the idea is you'd go and buy him at 45, and then either, if you want to go and get a quick sell him at 52, or just wait for him to go extinct at 55k. And the second player like that is going to be the likes of Andre Ayew, who right now is 47. I personally want to get for around about the price of 45. We see he went up there initially to 55k, then did go down a little bit, but I wouldn't be too stressed about this. I don't think this is going to be a continuous downwards trend. I think that's just going to be, again, everyone panicked doing the SBC at the beginning, then it dropping off a bit, and then again, he should now slowly start creeping back up to extinct at 55. Again, I want to go and get him at 45, but that's not that difficult. You can see a 45 and under there, 45 and under there, 30k somehow, 45 and under, 45 and under, and again, we expect this card to go back up to 50k. And now finally to go and end this video with two super expensive investments. Now these super expensive investments aren't going to get you better return on investment, but sometimes people come to me with millions and they're like, oh, let me go and buy a few cards. I can't be arsed waiting ages. Well, here's your cards if you can't be arsed waiting ages and, sorry, not can't be arsed, but can't be arsed spending ages investing. You got the likes of Inform Raheem Sterling up to about 140k. You can see right there he goes back down there to 140, 140, and is consistently ending on bids at 140. Now he's already had sales up to 170, if I'm not wrong, when the Evo initially came out. There you go. Before it came out it was 130. He then went up there to 150. There you go. It's at like 162, a 178, a 162. Anything else high in this? A 155, a 169. And they 164. So he consistently at the moment is already fluctuating up to about 165 to 170. But you can see right here the graph has just been progressive over and over again. So because it's progressive, I think it's being used even in multiple Evos. I think again at 140k is not a bad buy now, and I think within the 20 days he'd easily get up to 210. But even within the next week, I'd imagine he'll be very close to 200k. And your last expensive investment is going to be the likes of Honrat, not at 90k surprisingly. It's going to be down about 70 to 75k. We can see a 60k sale there, 73, 73. But we can see fluctuates up here to 90 already, back down there to 75. So it goes between 75 to 90k, which is a very nice 15k, 10k profit after tax. So what you'd be looking to do is you'd be looking to go and pick him up for 75k. Just keep listing him for 90k. Make sure list him overnight for 6 to 12 hours for 90k. And just always have this card listed, because you can see right now it sometimes gets very, very rare on the market, but then sometimes he'll get flooded at 75. So again, that's just a good little card to go and pick up. That's expensive and will make you 10k every time you buy it at 75 and sell it at 90. And as I said earlier in the video, regarding selling these cards, the longer you hold on to them, the more they should rise in the next 19 days. But, you know, if you basically just sell them when you want to go and invest in something else. Personally, I don't plan on selling them anytime soon. I mean, this is what my transfer list is looking like. I am getting rid of some of the players I bought for the first Evo, because again, why would I want to buy cards that I've got to sell in the next 4 days if I've got cards that can rise in the next 20 days? So slowly shifting out of selling like Tarkowski's and Uberhoffs and even some of the guys I thought might do well initially, selling those cards on, and then, hey, pick that Fabian up for 50 earlier. And then reinvesting in some of the other cards again in my watch list. A bunch of cards we have been picking up for the new Evo. So hopefully this has helped you guys. Again, this is literally an investment that's proven to work already. Again, it's just some of the defenders. The midfielders and forwards were good, but the defenders were, you know, a bit naff as of this new one coming out. So that's why basically all the investments recommended you guys are midfielders and above. But thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.